Welcome to the continuation of the last anti-court lessons titled Stop Peace Deal with Bandits. Stop Peace Deals with Bandits. There is no gain dressing lies in colorful costumes when addressing issues of our general welfare in Nigeria. Let me tell you the reality on ground in case you hate the people who speak the truth. The truth is that Nigeria must stop aiding and abetting terrorism right now. Otherwise, the worst will spread across the whole country. I want to use today to address the response of the Governor of Katsina State. Your message is very clear, but you still don't understand that your ignorance is part of why terrorism is on a rise in Katsina State. This is not an insult. This is a lesson that if you fail to learn, you will remain a reason terrorism will be the order of the day in Katsina State and spread across the country. After my anti-court lessons on Saturday, Governor Umaru Radda of Katsina State went on BBC Hausa, revealed that the president made promise during a meeting with a delegation of the Katsina State elders and clerics at the presidential villa, that they went to meet the president, that the repeated assaults of terrorists on the communities in Katsina State have reached a breaking point for them to seek the urgent intervention of the federal government. The governor revealed that President Bola Tinubu has pledged to provide Katsina with additional military support to combat banditry in Katsina State. He said that the support Mr. President promised includes drones that are capable of carrying out targeted strikes, terrorist hideouts. A new security formation, that is, a military battalion, will be established in the southern part of the state, an additional police outpost for mobile patrols to strengthen security in the northwest region of Nigeria. The president also promised to provide advanced military hardware to equip our security agencies with superior tools to fight terrorism and surveillance gadgets to enhance monitoring and tracking bandits. Governor Umaru Radda said the Katsina State government has already seen some progress in government fight against terrorism in Katsina through reduced attacks by terrorists. He said the reduced attacks as a result of the federal government increasing the number of security personnel deployed to the state and the peace deals that the communities were having with bandits. In fact, he specifically mentioned some of the local governments like Batsari, Jibai, Damusa, and Safana. He said these local governments have witnessed fewer attacks due to the local dialogues they were having with the bandits, while trying to also defend the encouragement for the so-called peace deals with the bandits. He said, and I quote, "I have no problem if the bandits themselves seek dialogue with the communities or authorities, but I will never seek to negotiate or give them money for peace." Now, we can all understand why the state and the federal government are acting as if they are not part of the peace deal with the bandits. Come to think of it, what kind of dialogue can defenseless community members be having with heavily armed bandits that will be in favor of the community? The bandits attended peace talk meetings under your watch in your own state as a governor, carrying such sophisticated guns, and you are saying that you have no problem with such kind of arrangement? You are not telling us where your interests lie, because we do not see a difference between your so-called dialogue and negotiation with terrorists. You have no problem dialoguing with terrorists in that manner, but you are not ready to negotiate money in person with them. So the communities on their own can be negotiating money aspect, not the government negotiating, right? You are deceiving yourself, because the terms and conditions of the peace deal you call dialogue can simply be interpreted as Nigeria negotiating with terrorists. I'm sorry to say, you're a fool. When a layman or woman who does not understand the menace of terrorism listens to this governor, he or she will assume that the governor is doing a wonderful job. The reason they don't want your children to have access to quality education, the reason they run the nation down, so that more ignorant people will populate everywhere and will not understand that the governor himself and the president of Nigeria are among those aiding and abetting terrorism in Nigeria. It is either you are not knowledgeable about what they are fighting and just wearing big clothes and caps, living a life of a lie. With some people, they have self-appointed, not based on merit, dictating all the nonsense that they are calling government fight against terrorism in Nigeria. Because I don't understand what deeper knowledge of experience do Governor Umaru Radda and President Bola Tinubu have to fight terrorism in the manner they are handling the menace in Nigeria. It is very clear now that the president and the governors in Nigeria understand what is happening concerning government fight against terrorism in Nigeria. So they should stop acting the victim of the consequences of their bad approach against cultism and terrorism in Nigeria. They should be able to own up to their faults that have complicated the problem. It is counterproductive for a government in Nigeria to be encouraging the communities under its watch to be having that kind of peace deals with the terrorists who are tormenting them. In fact, it is highly dangerous for communities and government to be dancing to the terms and conditions of criminals. For example, in Tasafe west of Zamfara State, while the communities were making peace deals with the terrorists, the bandits imposed a levy of 172.7 million naira on 25 villages. It sparked fear and displacement of those people. What do you expect? Terrorists do not mean good for their victims, whether they come by dialogue. If you know you want peace, go back to where you are coming from now and leave us in peace where we are. What kind of nonsense is that? Go back to wherever you are coming from. They either stop the act or not giving condition on how they can give you a soft landing while terrorizing you. Because there is no sense in such nonsense, the governor have said, that they are dialoguing. So, from Southwest experience, you should also understand that it is the same everywhere. There would have been no difference if the community was attacked and the people kidnapped for ransom, or they agreed to pay 172.7 million. It will all resort to ransom and displacement. The only difference is the bandits merely saved their energy and scared the people away with impossible terms and conditions for peace. And the people also abandoned their land and ancestral homes for the bandits without being harmed or killed. Do you know that the terms and conditions that were imposed on the communities in Katsina State were not favorable to the people, but they were negotiating these terms and conditions under heavy, dangerous weapons of the bandits. The bandits were fully armed and they came into the community to have meetings with the people without any protection. The people were just there, standing there, and they start coming with heavy guns and vehicles for meetings. Can you imagine? A wise saying says that you don't argue with a man with a gun. The government should bury their heads in shame, telling us that they are happy with such kind of peace deals. You should be arrested and jailed for such statements, irrespective of your humanity, because it touches on treasonable issues. And you wonder why over 95% of Nigerians blame government for terrorism? If you don't know before, this lesson should have opened your eyes now that people know too that your hands are not clean. So if you don't want to regret at this stage, sit up and fight terrorism. Stop aiding and abetting terrorism. Of course, the bandits in some situations are making these deals to safeguard the selfish interests of their sponsors. Sometimes to deliberately condone off the people from areas where their illegal mining activities are ongoing. Sometimes it is for land grabbing, and sometimes to enhance safe haven for the militia whom their sponsors are using for terrorizing the community and other communities. Meanwhile, the peace deals that the government have encouraged have emboldened the terrorists across Nigeria to attack many other communities in the northern part of the country. For example, in Katsina State, after repeated attacks on Ngwan community, the people felt abandoned by the Nigerian security agencies and government. They were left with two choices: to either abandon their community for the bandits to be living, or they stay back to fight and die defending their community. This is one of the numerous challenging moments where the Nigerian security agencies and government become very useless and meaningless in the lives of Nigerians, just at a time they are needed most. So when the bandits struck Ngwan community again, the people defended themselves successfully against the bandits. But due to the bad peace deals that are encouraged by the government, the bandits give themselves support and launched a more coordinated attack 2 days after their defeat at Ngwan community. The bandits attacked the community at early hours of the morning, killing 13 worshippers during morning prayer in the mosque. As usual, the increased number of security agents sent to Katsina State by President Bola Tinubu to combat the terrorists, which Governor Umaru Radda was praising the federal government for, that it has helped Katsina State reduce bandits' attack, were nowhere to be found during the reprisal attack of the bandits on Ngwan. So when you see people lie, you will look around wondering if it is is you that person is talking to. Despite people fought back and succeeded, the Nigerian government refused to consolidate their bravery. The increased security agents sent to Katsina were not there to encourage such bravery, and other communities too, not to leave the fight for the security agents alone. Wallahi, I want to ask, what kind of community partnership is the Nigerian security agencies and government expecting from the Nigerian people? Tell me. Because I really need to know if there is any other laudable efforts greater than what the helpless people of Nguwan Manao did to support the Nigerian security forces combating terrorism in Nigeria. If there is none, the leadership of the various security agencies in Nigeria should be ashamed of themselves. They really need to apologize to all Nigerians, especially the people of all the communities facing attacks from terrorists in Nigeria. When this kind of bravery is discouraged in Nigeria, I wonder the kind of cowards or saboteurs running security affairs in Nigeria. I just wonder. Obviously, if one put 1 and 2 together and conclude that many of the Nigerian politicians and their political parties are terrorists, I will definitely agree with such conclusion. It is not an understatement. Such conclusion is absolutely correct, and we should be worried about it as Nigerians all over the world. We need to start doing something about it right away. There is fire on the mountain. Just imagine in the same Katsina State that the federal and the state government have been acting as if they are overwhelmed by terrorists and needed support of the communities to succeed. A turnaround event like that now exposed the fact that even if people were ready to defend themselves alongside the efforts of our security agents, the government and the security agencies are not on ground to fight this fight or even support the brave and gallant citizens. But they are on ground to encourage their so-called peace deals with bandits. Forget the nonsense word they use to camouflage it. Peace deal, what deal name? It is all lies. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we are calling for accountability on the security votes the governors and the president are collecting every month, the money that the state and the federal government have been budgeting and claimed to be spending on combating security in the country, Governor Umaru Radda was so quick to blab in defense of nonsense peace deals with terrorists. He is telling we Nigerians that despite all the funds he has been wasting on fighting terrorism in Katsina State, he sees nothing wrong in the community having no other choice than to be negotiating with terrorists, calling it dialogue. He referred to such as success, provided him, the governor, or the Katsina State government are not expected to pay a dime to the terrorists. So it does not matter if the lives of the people are quietly jeopardized without being heard. Despite the increased number of security in the state, victims of terrorists who have been signing peace deals with some communities still pay ransom. After all, it is not the government paying the ransom. While wasting the Katsina State government resources on security with no result, his government is waiting and depending more on promises of a politician in Asuro to establish a military battalion and police outposts before the lives and properties of the people can be protected now. How many hours does it take to destroy a community? And you want to spend how many years to establish battalion and build police posts? But it does not stop the Katsina State government and the federal government to continue to allocate and budget and spend trillions of naira every year on fighting terrorism that they are not fighting without good results to show for it. Yet, the same President Bola Tinubu still want to impose more taxes on us, like the Agberus operating in motor parks. You must be joking. You must be joking. You must account for all the various taxes you have collected since you assumed power. If you cannot account for it, your government do not deserve collecting taxes again. The reality before us is that only a bad government will continue to encourage peace deal with bandits despite the fact that peace deal has emboldened the terrorists to become the worst that they have become today in Nigeria. Governor Umaru Radda and President Bola Tinubu need to understand that the people on their knees negotiating or dialoguing with bandits only embolden the bandits and creates more problem for Nigeria as a whole. We Nigerians have a big problem with your so-called peace deals with bandits. It has not worked and will never work anywhere in Nigeria. In Kuge ward in Musawa local government area of Katsina State, bandits stormed the village and abducted 2 people despite a peace deal agreement between the council and the Fulani leaders. And who knows if the 2 victims were not just kidnapped for ordinary kidnapping sake, since the whole affair now involved dirty politics. Who knows if the kidnappers were working for some politicians to silence their opposition in the community? So in many other parts of Katsina State, where they had peace deals with bandits, it was like the bandits were used to intimidate the people. All these are contrary to your claims that peace deals have helped to reduce terrorism or terrorist attacks in Katsina State. However, the best advice is that government at all levels need to learn that peace deals with terrorists will not help. No matter the word you use to package it, call it repentant bandits, call it peace deals or whatever, it will not work. Ladies and gentlemen, the lesson for today is, whether you like it or not, Nigeria must stop pampering and protecting terrorists. Whether this government is doing so deliberately or out of ignorance, it has to stop now. It is important now for the government to understand that the way it is combating terrorism in Nigeria is wrong and counterproductive. Moreover, the consequences are enormous. Otherwise, it will further backfire beyond the self-gains of those sponsoring the terrorists. Take note that a serious government that is confronted with the kind of security challenges that Nigeria is experiencing today would ensure that every single criminal involved in terrorist act is ruthlessly dealt with without mercy and without exception, whether a small or a big terror or their sponsor. Everyone will be dealt with in a way that the rest of the world will see Nigeria to be too harsh on terrorists. Yes, let them fear us like that. That should have been the message out there, not granting terrorists amnesty and freedom, and still be encouraging members of the community that they have been attacking to welcome them as friends to live with. Let terrorists and their sponsors know that Nigeria hate terrorists and not that Nigeria is accommodating and showing care for terrorists. What kind of nonsense is that? A government that terrorists have so much humiliated like Nigeria will seize every opportunity to deal with terrorists and send a note of warning to other terrorists around the world that do not dare Nigeria again. Fear Nigeria. Nigeria will never spare you. If you go to all those places where they send that kind of warning to the terrorists, you will see that terrorists don't try that kind of nonsense they are doing Nigeria with them. If the Nigerian government has not given room for terrorism to thrive in our country, the rest of the world would have great respect for the Nigerian government. The government would have demonstrated zero tolerance for terrorism and not the way it has been aiding and abetting terrorism with the rest of the world watching. Thank you for your attention on anti-cult lessons in Nigeria. This is not the end on the topic, stop peace deals with bandits. But this is where we will draw the curtains for today. The lesson continues next episode. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok on @OurNationNigeria. And for you to further understand the secrets about terrorism in Nigeria and all the lessons we are sharing here, visit www.paystack.com/buy/The Secret Bush and download the resource material for these lessons titled The Secret Bush. You will be shocked to read more about what exactly is the menace that some people in positions of power in Nigeria today are playing with. See you on Anti-Cult Lesson for Aluta Continua Victoria Asata. Ready, I'm ready.
Ready, I'm ready. I'm ready to shine now. Ready, oh I'm ready. Yes I'm ready to shine, to shine. The Genesis. Life means something to me. I had a dream one day, I become so rich. I'm by poverty, out of the streets, but I was broke till now. No money to spend, I had a dream. It's perfect time to speak my mind, to lead the people to the promised land was my dream. But I was wrong, this world, the one who kicked the oppressor saw me then. I wish I was dead, I stick all my life. And mommy will know, as now the years all off. But to die, at the time I think twice and ask myself, what did it so fast? It's kind of death, and some part the authority hit my place. I gotta hide my baby boss, run the front. Seminar to see the way I fit this week of the now from so past. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready to shine now. Ready, oh I'm ready, yes I'm ready to shine, to shine. Ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I'm ready to shine now. Ready, oh I'm ready. bad ones must come your way. The important thing is what you learn from them. It's also good when you also touch some lives, make them realize that some dreams are real, no matter how